what would be the ideal roadmap if somebody wants to enter into something similar that you're doing, an FP&A or a business finance related part?
Many of the people ask me this question whether MBA is necessary for this role.
Hmm.
So I don't think anything is necessary today. Like people have a very good network on LinkedIn. People have very good.
What is the current trend that you're seeing in finance or in FP&A related roles that is happening in the industry?
One trend I would say that I am observing, and I also read an article a few days back.
What is one big challenge that you face in your current role, or say for example in FP&A as general, that any professional would ideally face?
A problem would be learning business in and out in the very first day of the job.
So if anybody is going for an FP&A interview, what are the general questions that they get asked?
The first question that we expect, like I expect when I take a few mocks for my mentees, is that
You have also been guiding students for the CA scholarship essays. What is the three advice or three things that people are doing wrong? Hello guys, I hope everybody is doing good. Hi, this is Ganesh Naik. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career. And as a part of that discussion series, we have a podcast meetings with people from the industry. And today I am with Tushar. He has a blend of FP&A program, FP&A background, and also he helps a lot of students in terms of guidance for CFA, FRM, and especially CFA essay. So we're going to be talking about that also in detail. Tushar, first of all, thank you very much for taking out time and talking to us. So Tushar, from your perspective, what is an FP&A role ideally does for the benefit of the audience? Very simply.
so FP&A is a role where the basic work is to analyze the data,
Hmm.
but the money that you get for it like is the storytelling, like how you write a story for a business
Okay.
and then take a decision basis that story. For example, if a particular unit is 15% year on year decrease, so how will you tell that story, that what led that 15% decrease,
Okay.
and how will you ensure your business to revive from that situation and then grow at 15%. So analysis, data driven, I guess it's the story of yesterday. But
Hmm.
today, if you are a good, I would say, a finance professional, you will help your business to drive that particular problem statement.
Okay.
So
So it's
that is,
data plus storytelling
I guess,
combined.
data is something that is mandatory. Like if I'll say that I am a data driven finance profession is already should be a data driven person.
Okay.
But a storyteller, a good storyteller,
Hmm.
and a good person who have an analytical build to ensure that how will you explain your problem statement to your business stakeholders.
Okay.
So that is very important. So I guess that is FP&A. A lot of people confuse it with a lot of accounting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
FP&A is now moving towards a business finance role, where
Okay.
you will sit at the table and you will explain finance to non-finance people.
Okay. Okay.
So that is an FP&A, a new FP&A, I would say, in
Okay.
a e-commerce FMCGs of the world.
Okay.
So that
Interesting.
is new FP&A.
So it is moving away from just giving the MIS to more decision making or facilitating a decision.
Yes.
Now, how did you end up being into this role? What was your journey from the start?
So I have read management studies for last 5 years. So I did my BMS, which is Bachelor's of Management Studies from Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies.
Okay.
Therein, in the first year of the college, I just heard, oh, finance is something that is more than a stock market.
Okay.
So then I started exploring different fields of finance. So
Mhm.
there are multiple fields, I would say treasury,
Mm.
then finance consulting, real estate consulting, and then I would say reading about not just stock market but treasuries and everything. So
Okay.
that gave me a knowledge that there is more to finance, not just stock market or a trader.
Mm.
So then I enrolled for CFA, then I enrolled for CAT, then I went to IIM Lucknow. So there we have multiple job opportunities, but one thing that I was 100% sure that I want to get into consulting or finance. So
Okay.
then the second requisite was I want to be in tech and in finance. So
Okay.
that is the reason that boiled me down to joining a e-commerce company, because today we
Mm.
have a blend of technology plus finance.
Okay.
But definitely I wanted to have a short stint in consulting as well. So before joining Lucknow, I went to Cushman Wakefield and did two real estate projects with them where
Okay.
I was managing a set of $200 million where we tried to divide it and sell it to different stakeholders. So
Okay.
that was a good fun part, I would say, before MBA. So it was good.
So, real estate consulting, then MBA, then into FP&A roles.
Yes. So right now I'm trying to manage a portfolio for customer service of a e-commerce company
Hmm.
where I'm leading their strategy and finance vertical
Okay.
and trying to do the storytelling more often than
Okay.
others. So that's the role. But in this role, I have to move to different finance verticals from, I would say, a revenue side to a cost side to a more business finance side. And it will be
Hmm.
a blend of three, which will help me to accelerate my learning and make me a complete finance professional in next 2 years.
So, in your role, what are the top three skill set that anybody needs?
I would say thinking beyond data, like
Okay.
all the time, data is not the only matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So that is storytelling. First is definitely a non-negotiable storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Second is stakeholder management. So how well you manage your stakeholders. So you may want a yellow color pen, but
Mm.
I cannot keep on selling you a blue color pen without a logic. So
Okay.
it's a blend of a storytelling then stakeholder management. And third would be a business acumen, not a finance acumen, business acumen. Like you
Okay.
linking your finance with a business. Because
Hmm.
I know people know finance, but finance
How
as an
exactly is business happening?
business acumen is really necessary because at the end of the day you have to ensure your business to make money. Why I am a headcount in an organization? Because I have to ensure to give a 2x growth of my cost
Right.
in a way.
Right.
That's why that's how the business will become profitable. My stakeholder will get money.
Hmm.
So we just do not have to optimize the cost, we have
Right.
to also earn extra for our stakeholders
Right.
on shareholders. So
And one of the biggest stakeholder would be the business side for you.
yes,
So you have to make sure that they are able to do sales proper or
they
business
are
proper.
able to take business calls without taking a toll on a finance is
Okay.
the thing that we should ensure. Like they should not get into a meeting with a lot of question marks about finance,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day you talk about any function of business, be it marketing, operations, or HR. Your
Okay.
number should be, you have to have a number before getting into a meeting. Like if an HR want to hire someone
Okay.
like me, what will be the discussion? How much you want to pay him, or how, what will be the reallocation and kinds of allowances. So
Hmm.
that person should have the prerequisite before getting into a meeting, and that is where a business finance person comes into the picture, where he will derive that headcount discussion and
Hmm.
salaries and everything.
Okay.
So that is very important. Like you ensure the business to have a finance knowledge.
Perfect. And what would be the ideal roadmap if somebody wants to enter into something similar that you're doing, an FP&A or a business finance related part? Anybody who is just starting out his career.
Okay, so many of the people ask me this question whether MBA is necessary for this role.
Hmm.
So I don't think anything is necessary today. Like people have a very good network on LinkedIn. People have very good company alums.
Right.
But I did an MBA for learning.
Hmm.
Uh, but a lot of people do it for network slash placements.
Hmm.
So anything from CA, CFA, or an MBA. If you have any of these three things, you have a fair shot.
Hmm.
But if you combine a CA with a MBA or a CFA with an MBA, you'll have a more certain shot because these companies do often visit campuses.
Right.
So that is a kind of a foot in the door. So you don't need to reach out.
Hmm.
These people will reach out to you on your respective campuses. So that is a very good, I would say, starting point.
Hmm.
Second is, there are, I have seen a lot of tech companies providing internship opportunities for 6 months. A lot of people question this point that should we intern for 6 months? Isn't it too long? I guess the instant gratification that is kind of
Right
a
now.
problem in this world, which I am also being part of, that I want to do something today and I want it a 2x tomorrow. So that is something that is very disheartening to see
Okay.
about, like even if when I evaluate myself. So one of my very good mentor said that a career is a 25 years long journey. You cannot achieve something today or tomorrow or in next 5 years. It's a 20 to 25 year of a journey. You cannot become a CFO tomorrow. So
Right.
it's a bits and pieces, but definitely everyone wants to like achieve more and more as early as possible. I don't think it's wrong, but you have to optimize,
It's
you
a
have to choose
marathon.
a.
It's a marathon,
Yes, it's a
right?
marathon.
And what is the current trend that you're seeing in finance or in FP&A related roles that is happening in the industry?
One trend I would say that I am observing, and I also read an article a few days back, a lot of IPOs are happening. So
Hmm.
the treasury role will be, like you will see a like a spike in hiring in treasury, because
Okay.
a lot of companies will have a cash. For example, one of the e-commerce company is in the phase of IPO.
Hmm.
So there are few fresh issues and there are few existing sales. So
Right.
when you will have a fresh issue, not just about e-commerce, a lot of companies in IPOs have doing a fresh issue. So that X amount
Hmm.
will be reallocated to a business
Okay.
or a business vertical. So
Hmm.
therein the finance or a treasury person will play a very important role. So I would say resource allocation or in terms of treasury will be a very good field to be in next couple of years, because IPOs everywhere we are hearing this thing.
Right.
So that is a good good thing for every one of us. If we are in finance, we are
Hmm.
learning more about it. So
Right.
treasury would be a thing.
And what is one big challenge that you face in your current role, or say, for example, in FP&A as general, that any professional would ideally face?
I would say a problem would be learning business in and out in the very first day of the job. So as I said, that a prerequisite should be a business acumen,
Hmm. Right.
but you cannot expect a person knowing in and out of a beauty or a personal care industry if he is working in an FP&A there.
Right.
So definitely it's a prerequisite, but you cannot expect it to be like very thought of in a first 1 or 2 months. So that is a problem, and it's a phase. Like you have to wait for like 3 to 6 months, at
Hmm.
least 2 quarters, to sense the trend of the business, or to
Okay.
check what is happening in and around of the business. Like for example, there is one cycle, like we consider 1 year as a one cycle.
Hmm.
So when a person is one cycle old, he will do that next cycle better than the last time. So
Okay.
problem is when you are not ready to put a like 2x time in the first cycle.
Hmm.
In the next cycle you will put 1.5, and gradually it will slow down.
Slowly your understanding will improve
Yes, understanding will improve, and like a lot of figuring out will, like, you don't need to do a lot of figuring out, I would
as you
say.
become older on the
As
system.
you become older in the system, business, you start understanding business.
Hmm.
For example, you start understanding, I would say, acronyms, short forms, because in finance we love short forms.
Right.
Like
Right.
everything is a short form. So
Okay.
it's good to spend a cycle and then evaluate.
So if anybody is going for an FP&A interview, what are the general questions that they get asked in the interviews?
I would say the first question that we expect, like I expect when I take a few mocks for my mentees, is that a basic understanding of financial statements. We have three.
Hmm.
So if there is a journal entry, he should relate which
How
journal
which book
entry
it
will
is going to
be
relate?
like mapped to which financial statement, and how will it impact the financial ratios. That is a very basic understanding that I expect. Like
Okay.
if I'll do a cash sales versus a credit sales,
Hmm.
there are multiple balances. Like cash will not increase if I'll do a like
Debtor
a
will go up and all of that.
debtor will go up, then ratios, payable ratios will impacted if I'll do a credit sales.
Right.
And most of the time that understanding that not everyone will pay.
Hmm.
So if a person will come and say that I'll create a 5% provision for this,
Okay.
then I can understand, oh, you have thought of that. Not everyone pays that amount. But if someone will say that no, I'll do cash, no, people use credit card. These are very new age nuances,
Right.
but businesses or B2B transactions doesn't happen that way. Like we are not talking about D2C everywhere. Like
Hmm.
if you'll buy a car, you'll not take a credit card and say
So
that
it's my
I'll pay
details.
30 lakh rupees from a card. Definitely there will be some amount that people will definitely take it from credit card, but not all.
Right.
So there are multiple nuances, like putting 5% provision, and then provision will land in your balance sheet as an asset, that hey, I have an
Hmm.
asset. For
Right. Right.
example, a bank that was in like spotlight for the issues with the provision. So
Uh, uh,
So that nuances people should consider. That is one, I would say. Second is very well thought of. Why do you want to join a role? Like, I have seen people saying that I'll join this role, then I'll move to another role. I don't want anyone to join this role and move to another role. Definitely over the time when I don't want people to join a job for an exit opportunity. I am very against it, honestly, because, okay, so I think that not everyone should stay in the same role for 5 years, but not everyone should join a role to take an exit. That is second. Third would be like a general awareness about himself or herself, that what he have done. Don't overplay that, play the role of another, that you know it all. Like, usually I think that there is three whys. If someone is able to answer three whys, he is good. If he is able to answer five whys, he is best. So a lot of mocks that I have taken, people stop at first why, because they have just built that story. But if you have, like, actually have done that or solved that problem, you will at least have three whys. So these are the three things that I expect, which I also like mimicked a role in my interviews, when I have not done 100%, but I tried to show it. But people who have taking interviews have like 10 years or 15 years or 20 years
They
of
know
experience.
what they're saying.
They know it. And in my undergraduation days, I learned the hard way. But in my post graduation, I ensure that I only talk about those things that I have done and I've done fully. But if I have assisted, for example, you, so I'm very blunt about it, that I assisted Ganesh sir in this project. These were the three KPIs for me. Okay. And I did these three things, and these were the results. But I was assisting. Not every intern is the head of a department.
Right, right.
So
Perfect.
that is the point.
So you basically try to see whatever the activity that candidate has done, whether those why, how is clear to that person or not. Okay. And how important is say CFA or FRM in a finance role, as per your understanding?
So, like, these days, we have four exams a year, and every quarter you will receive multiple questions that, will I get a job after CFA? Like, I don't know. Like, my question is, like, whenever I receive it, my first answer is that I don't know. But you should not do a CFA. You should not do any degree for a job.
Should be
You
long
should
term view.
you should do a degree for a learning. Like, why do I talk more about CFA than any other thing in general? My LinkedIn or my WhatsApp is that
Right.
one of the best curriculums I have ever read. I am not a L3 candidate. I still have L3 books. Every year I order all the three books of every level, and I see that how the curriculum is changing. I try to read it.
Okay.
I am not sure whether I'll get a promotion basis this, but definitely I'll definitely learn to answer that the 5% provision is necessary.
Right.
The beta is necessary to analyze a stock, or this ratio will impact there, or the, for example, the treasury, the risk management.
Right.
So these are things very essential. But how you, what you can expect doing L1, L2, and L3 is definitely you will get a job. But starting again at the first day to take an exit to a job, it's not it's not a one-to-one mapping, I would say. Like, just
Right.
learn. It's a three level. Like, if someone is questioning at the first level is a very basic introduction
Right.
to finance. So
Everybody enters, I think so, CFA or FRM with that end in mind, that I need a job. Okay, so like you said, you if you're going through a rigorous process, you will get a job, but you need to have slight patience. You might want to go into a good role, then you might start the journey.
certainty is never a thing. Like, and
Ha,
today everything is changing so fast
right.
that the only thing that you will receive is your parcel tomorrow. That is a certainty, I would say. But what will happen to you tomorrow is not a certainty. Like,
Right.
we, over the time, we have analyzed as a human being that we are so complex. So I would say getting into a learning mode just to get a job is important. Like, I also belongs to a fairly, like, a middle class family where jobs or businesses are very important to make your cash flow running.
Right.
But, like, do your undergraduation, do CFA, and then think of a job. You cannot get a job in your second year of college. I've seen a lot of freelancing and everything getting very day to day thing for us, but like it's again an instant gratification. Like you have to spend 4 years in a particular degree or a learning environment.
Right.
People say a lot of things that X person was a college dropout, he is able. X person divided by the number of students. What is the probability? Are you able to take that risk? Please. Like that percentage should work in your mind. Like, uh, I would say, how many CFA aspirants have a job? I heard that there are only 2.5 completed CFA people in the world.
Hmm.
Just check the numbers that how many people have the job. You will see that the number is definitely above 70, 80. How many college dropouts have job?
Right.
How many college dropouts have a successful entrepreneurship venture? I don't know. Like that is the thing. That is
That
the
is how
way.
you should analyze basically.
Exactly. So one of the very good articles of SEBI, 90% of the traders, people's I have seen, like I am very fond of content creation and I observe a lot of content. A lot of people with this I am a trader and a life of a trader, buying expensive watches and everything. I also want to have like a real estate property of like 50 crores or 60 crores, but not a. How many traders have that life? SEBI has given this data is more than 90%. I am 100% sure it will be 96, 97%. And that 3% is also, it's a
They're not
very
making
huge,
exceptional money, but
very huge range, I would say. And people will have exceptional money, some will have less. So people should evaluate everything basis the percentage, like, and the probability. Like, I guess human mind doesn't think in a percentage or a probabilistic manner. Like, what is the probability is the questions that should come in our minds. Like for CFA, 43% is the average. Fairly good. Like, it's best, I would say. Like
for any
CAT,
global competitive exam, this is very good.
CAT 2%. Like then
CA also
CA is also
very
less, I guess, in double digits or 15, 20. I'm not sure the data, I may be 100% wrong, but
it is far lesser than what we see.
CFA 43%. Yeah, definitely they change, and I don't want to give an assurance that 43 people will get 100 out of 100 will pass, but fairly good. Like
Good, right.
it's fairly good. Like, and like keeping everything aside, the curriculum is one of the best curriculums. Like you don't need to think of anything. Like they reevaluate every year, they change every year.
Right.
It's I love CFA curriculum. Like I just love CFA
In
curriculum.
fact, even if you're not preparing for an exam and you're just working professionally, you want to understand, learn, take out the books and read. So if somebody
Exactly
has
that.
already created a structure, you just have to follow that.
That is what I do every year. So one of the professors of NYU, like you might heard his name, father of valuation, Ashwat Damodar, he always after New Year he put new videos for valuation in his like he'll create a new playlist every year and you can watch it. So the people who are behind like making a updated curriculum, isn't it, they're putting so much effort. Like CFA, Ashwat Damodaran, and I would say daily newspaper persons, like who is writing these, updating every day a new thing. Right. So these three things I would say, CFA, Ashwat Damodaran, and newspaper should be closer to you if you want to make your life in finance or anywhere. Okay. Like now, updated every year. Yeah. Now
I quickly move towards your mentoring side. So, what do you think top three mistake people do when they are planning their career?
Again, first is exit opportunities. There is no exit opportunities. Like join a place to stay there and learn. Why do you want to join to exit?
Okay.
Just go there wherever you want to join. A lot of people say that I want to work in a startup, I'll join this company and then take it. Why don't you reach out to that startup on the very first day? You will go slow, but you will learn more about the business.
Right. Very interesting point.
First is no exit opportunities. Second is instant gratification. That CFA L1, I'll do CFA L1, I'll get a job.
Right.
I don't think they will get a job after L1 because, and if you want to do a 5 to 7 lakh job, you can do it other than like CFA also. You don't need to invest 300 hours and 1 lakh rupees. That is second. And third is expecting every free resource is a good resource. Like, I have seen so many groups on Telegram where people are supplying some gyan on some random resources. People just join it and leave it, and every morning they'll see and they'll don't view and observe. Resource hoarding is not an answer to any problem statement. Like I have done it myself when I was preparing for CAT, that I'll order every book that exists in the market because I had just that FOMO that अगर मेरे पास ये बुक नहीं होगी तो मेरा कम मार्क्स आएगा. If I don't have this book, I'll score lesser marks. Focus on 3 resources. Have a good one mentor and live your life. People reaching out to 10 mentors, talking to them, evaluating. 3 resources, one mentor, one quarter, and then evaluate. People want to evaluate every day. I may sleep 10 hours today. I'll have to compensate it tomorrow by sleeping less, for example. I cannot evaluate myself every day. Like there should be a weekly plan, and every Sunday you can evaluate, or every month you can evaluate. People want to evaluate आज ही 10 घंटे में मेरे को सारी readings कर लेनी है.
Consistency.
You should focus. You should work day by day, but target should be a week, target fortnight or a month, and evaluate.
Right.
But I guess
A lot of people are not able to do that.
This is wrong because too much of data is around, like
information.
information.
You have
data.
too much support also available. I mean, like you said, now there are so many Telegram groups talking about CFA or FRM and any of the certification, and you'll find 10 people talking about it. Okay, I did this and I cleared the exam. That is also what is challenging, because when you're preparing for say CFA, if you're reading through Schweger book, read through it. Don't just mix Schweger and your institute material. If you're reading through institute, just make sure that you follow one book properly,
Exactly.
and you will be able to get the result.
One thing that basis this conversation about one thing that I want to specifically mention, two things I would say, not one. If someone is saying that you will clear your CFA exam in 100 hours, just go and unfollow that person.
Okay.
Or don't believe in him or her. Like he might be expert, he might be god of finance, or tomorrow he will found like Fortune 500 companies. I have no issues, but he's not for you, or she is not for you. Second is, without MBA, you can achieve so many things, or buy this course. Like a lot of creators who have done MBA talking about not doing an MBA and selling a course.
Acha.
I think they have learned the hard way that they have done an MBA and they didn't able to make it to XYZ things. But 95 other folks are still sitting in a very good jobs. So don't think that if this is not a thing for him, it would not a thing for me as well. Like
It's
a
not
lot of
one-to-one.
it's not a one-to-one. Like a lot of people completed their MBA, joined family business. They would have joined otherwise also. Like a lot of business tycoons, I would say, the best 10 companies of India, like they send their like daughters and sons like to the best B schools in the country or outside the country. They can join any day. Like they are they can do anything. Like they are the promoters of the company. But learning in a, I would say, structured way is also very important, because you don't need to find resources. You don't need to wake up and figure out which YouTube video that I have to watch to learn. That is also necessary. Like in the first 3 to 5 years, you should have a very structured learning, so that you don't distract yourself too much. You get the basics of everything. And when you get out from that particular B school, you have an understanding what is right, what is wrong, from a life, from a personal, professional front. And then you take a call that this YouTube video is helpful, this person is helpful, X person is helpful. But yeah, these are the two things that I want to specifically mention. 100 hours CFA, don't do it. You will get a job without an MBA. It's good. But if you want to learn, go to a B school and learn. Go to do an MSc.
Basically, do a structured program.
Or you find a very good mentor, which is tough, but it's very, like, it's, I would say, I don't think it's a right one-to-one mapping. Like you should go to school and learn for 3 years, and you'll find so many good friends. Like I have so many good friends in these B schools and undergraduate and school.
Mm.
Like I don't talk to them when I need a job. I don't talk to them when I need a stock investment advice. I just talk to them when I just had a hazelnut coffee, for example, and
Mm.
I'll talk to them for that.
Right.
And those people are like now heading a vertical of a very good businesses right now.
Mm.
It's a very good, like a very good conversation,
Got
I
it.
would say.
Got it. And you have also been guiding students for the CA scholarship essays. What is the uh, three advice or three things that people are doing wrong that you can talk about?
So first would be your financial obligation will not ensure the scholarship. If you are clicking that apply button, it's understood that you
You
have a
need money.
financial
Yeah.
obligation. Second is it's a lottery. People say it. If it's a lottery, then everything is a lottery in life. So that is not the case. People misunderstood it, and people, a lot of people have created memes around it
Okay.
and made it a mainstream. But the problem with the content creation today is that people miss that thin line between a joke versus a reality.
Mm.
That 100% 100 hours CFA started as a joke, became a reality.
Mm.
That CFA is a lottery, become a reality. That is second. Third is, I would say, the sooner you do, the better it is. But you should have at least two attempts in your hand. Like for example, recently the May attempt, I guess, not August attempt got opened.
Mm.
Uh, that you, if you'll apply to it, you will able to appear in August, for example. So
Right.
if you have in mind that you want to appear in November, so you should also apply in August and November, because there is no certainty that you are one of the person who should get a
Right.
scholarship. So that is very important that you apply for today, which window is open, and the next window as well.
Mm.
If you get the August one,
You appear for the exam.
you appear for the exam and you reallocate your time to CFA and do something afterwards.
Okay.
People think that I will apply and I will get it. Honestly, I have seen this like in many of my like relations, like with in my family, friends. People just think that every good thing will happen with them. That if they will apply, they will clear. If they will apply, they will get a scholarship. Like my dad always used to say this thing that if you are appearing to exam, there is a true probability. Either you will pass, either you will fail. If you are have failed an exam, you're not a failure. It's an exam that gives you two results.
Mm.
People nowadays think that I will top the exam and I will be the only person. Like I have failed many exams in my life.
Mm.
Like I was not able to get a school admission in St. Xavier's where my brothers were studying.
Okay.
I was not able to clear. Like it was like hardly I was in sixth.
Okay.
And then I got to know that there are two results. The probability should come into that. And that day I learned that like all my family was like कि, क्या करेगा भाई ये? मतलब इसका तो
Some
like
there's
school
no
में एडमिशन नहीं हो रहा मतलब इस
yeah.
बच्चे का मतलब. But then I ended up playing for DAV Nationals. I ended up playing for Delhi State in the same school.
You might get opportunity in the same areas also.
Exactly. And honestly, thinking life in probability is the biggest takeaway that everyone that I took it till now. Like
Okay. Okay.
thinking everything in a percentage terms. Like what
Okay.
is the percentage? Either even if it's a discount also.
Okay. One final question now. What is the one best advice that you have got in your career?
One, I'll say two.
Okay.
One from my father I received is that there are two results, pass or fail for every exam. When I gave my CAT exam and I came back home, it was third slot, 28th of November. I was very weird for next 4 5 hours that I will not able to make it. He
Hmm.
simply chipped in this information that either you will pass or fail. It's okay.
Hmm.
It's an exam. That is one. Second is from my mentor that it's a 20-year long
Okay.
career or a journey, I would say, and don't expect everything to be worked out on the very first day of your job. Like it will take years. I didn't know how to open a lunchbox in a corporate environment 1 year back. But knowing that I'll be opening my lunch for the first time in a corporate setup, I can make like I can do things which should not be done in a corporate setup
Correct.
versus a I am Lucknow campus canteen.
Hmm.
Like I can call anyone and get something.
Right.
That's a campus, but corporate might be different. But I was ready that I will not be the best person today, but will I be one day? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So that's the two things that everyone should think of. Instant gratification, I don't think it works.
Okay. Okay. Last final section where I'm going to ask you a question. You have to answer it fast.
Okay.
One common mistake freshers make in finance.
Instant gratification.
One book every finance professional should read.
CFA.
What's your favorite financial analysis tool?
Value research.
The preferred method for keeping up with market trend.
Newspaper.
Any specific?
I read Business Standard a lot.
Okay.
Today I am reading Mint because of personal finance portion of it. Any of the two works. You can start with Economic Times, later switch to Business Standard or Mint. Or if you
Wonderful.
continue with the Economics Times, that's also fine.
Wonderful, wonderful, Tushar. This was a very good conversation, and I think so. A lot of students will get a very good perspective. The last part also that you mentioned, the two advices, I think so that will connect to them. That no instant gratification. You have to make sure that the results are only two and nothing to worry. You just focus on your growth, and you will be able to do better. So I think so. All of this will help. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for taking out time and coming to our